Hey guys, subscribe for daily content. And if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks! What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I've got a super exciting unboxing slash unzipping of a pouch video to share with you guys. So, I'm going to be honest, I had the original unboxing, which was, I hadn't actually handled it yet, and then somehow it got deleted. So I have robbed you of that initial organic experience, but I still want to share this with you guys today. So I'm going to still give a first impressions video, and then we'll do the review down the road. Thanks so much to the gentleman who sent this in. I'm going to give you guys details here in a sec. I will link any and all information down in the description so that you guys can check it out. Thanks to my patrons for supporting me, and please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. All right. This gentleman is part of the South African Knife Makers Guild. And it's pretty spectacular. I'm going to go ahead and share with you guys all of the information here. You can pause that if you'd like to. This is Anton van der, and I'm so sorry, I know I'm going to butcher this, Westhuizen. So there you go. Make sure that you check him out on Instagram, etc. Let's take a look at this knife. Boy, is it gorgeous. Okay. Man, I wish it's almost like I'm unboxing it for the first time again. But the first time that I opened this up, you could imagine I was just absolutely blown away. Now, I think I Googled the pronunciation of this, and I could be wrong. I feel like Google's trolling me. I think it's pronounced Boudicca. But it could be Boudicca. I honestly don't know. That is the name of this model, as far as I understand. These scales actually look like zirconium, but they're not. They're sort of a orange peel or eggshell textured coated titanium. And then, as you can see here, we have zirconium Damascus inlays. And we also have a zirconium. Sorry, let me clean that pocket clip off for you. A zirconium pocket clip, very beautiful. And then, as far as I can tell, just standard Damascus for the pivot collar. The backspacer is also zirconium, which is very cool. And then the blade, I think, I'm pretty sure it's M390. Of course, all these details I will include when I do the actual review. But something that I pointed out in the initial unboxing that you guys will never see because I accidentally deleted it is I was very surprised at how heavy the detent was, not in a bad way, but in a good way. And it made me feel like it was going to be tight on the way back down, but I'm sure you've watched me do this. We have completely and totally fall shut action on this guy. Just spectacular. Every time I handle something that was made by somebody in the South African Custom Knife Makers Guild, or South African Knife Makers Guild, it all has that sort of otherworldly action. And anybody who's ever handled something from one of these makers, and they all, differ a little bit, but one consistent is that the action is always just completely mind-blowing. As long as you keep your fingers off of that frame lock, it really rockets into position. I mean, it takes a decent amount of force to break it, but not so much that it's bothersome. It's just really bizarre that the blade still wants to fall back down into the closed position so readily. It's absolutely gorgeous. Now, on this model, there is no lock bar insert and there is no over travel stop. I feel like in an extreme situation where if you're going to be pushing really hard on that lock bar, which is the whole reason, that's the whole reason I really like to see a lock bar insert. Not so much because I'm worried about the titanium on steel, surface contact or anything like that. Usually they carbonize the lock faces and everything's fine. It's usually, the reason I want to see it is because it doubles as an over travel stop. It's very, very unlikely that you're going to accidentally bend out the lock bar, but it's nice to have that sort of barrier there. Because of the position of the pocket clip, it's got to travel a little bit further to meet it, but the tension on that pocket clip will probably prevent it, even in the most extreme scenarios, from bending anything out. So I want to make sure that you guys keep that in mind. He works with a wide variety of different materials. If you look on his Instagram, there are, I don't know, sometimes it's referred to like dragon scale or dragon skin Damascus. I think it's like a blued ball bearing Damascus, but I'm not sure. I've never actually handled anything or researched anything with that material, but he's one of those makers that works with that. Works with a wide variety of different handle like inlay materials. So, you know, obviously if black sort of mixed with this multicolor setup, if this isn't your thing, because he's a custom knife maker, keep in mind lots of different possibilities for the aesthetic. Let's go ahead and measure it real quick. I wanted to give you guys a measurement here. Remember, this is just a first impressions video, just quick specs, things like that, not a review. Overall length is 8 inches. Your blade length is about 3.6, and your cutting edge is exactly 3.5 inches. The weight, let me let you guys take a look at the inside here real quick. There's no internal milling, probably because of the pockets that are milled out for the black Damascus inlays. The weight on this guy, I want to say was a little over 4 ounces. Yeah, okay, 4.5 ounces. Really doesn't feel like that. It really feels like right around the 4 ounce mark. I'm not sure exactly why that is. It's a really good size though. Little bit sharp on the inside here, but you know, otherwise nice. You get a full hand position, or a full 4-finger grip, I should say. My index finger is here, and then this finger is sort of coming down halfway on this little ridge right here, which is, it's not the most comfortable thing in the world, but it's fine because the edges are all knocked down, right? These aren't like, I wouldn't call them sharp or anything like that. They're just kind of angular. But the ergonomic lines are pretty good, and the overall styling, that's the thing. This area here is sort of, I don't know, I feel like aesthetically meant to complement this little notch up here, which it definitely does a good job of. The entire knife looks extremely nice. And this sort of eggshell texturing, which you can just maybe barely feel, it also continues up to the blade. So there's really no difference from the blade to the frame on that texturing there. The backspacer is slightly raised or lipped above the scales, which is kind of nice, right? You cannot see the screw at all for the pocket clip. I believe that's completely and totally hidden. In fact, all of the hardware is hidden, and I'm just now noticing that. That's actually, I think, contributing largely to how good the overall aesthetic looks. It's one of those things that I don't really, initially I'm like, why does it look so good, right? I'm sure there's obviously a lot of different elements here, but one of the main elements making this thing look so good is the fact that all of the hardware is hidden except for like the pivot. That's really awesome. That makes everything look spectacular. And the only thing on here is just his logo here. That's really it. This material, or not material, the way that he's done this titanium, it looks a lot like blackened and slightly polished zirconium, but it doesn't pick up fingerprints the same way. So initially I was tempted to wear gloves. I think I started to say that earlier. I was wearing gloves and I kept slipping off the flipper tab, and I couldn't figure out exactly how heavy the detent was. But when I finally took the gloves off in the original video, I realized I'm just like, it's just my brain telling me that this is going to pick up fingerprints a lot like zirconium, and it doesn't, which is really nice. Overall, first impressions of this thing, I mean, everything is just absolutely perfect. I mean, as far as fit and finish goes, everything like that, lockup percentage. Sorry, the camera's having a hard time focusing because of the color. But everything just looks spectacular. These are pretty pricey, even at base. You're looking at, I think this one comes in at about $1,200, something like that, maybe a little bit more. Obviously, the more exotic you get, the more expensive it's going to get. But this is another fantastic example of a maker from this area. So, like I said, all the information is going to be linked down below. Give me a little bit to spend some time with it, and I will give you guys my thoughts in a full comprehensive review. Thanks again to Anton for sending this in for me to take a look at. Make sure you guys check him out. That's going to be pretty much it today. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe, because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.